again here with another video. So I'm going to talk about sports. As all my family knows, and friends, and anybody that's that's subscribed to me here on YouTube know that I'm a big fan of sports, and worked out and played sports my whole life. There's a lot of things I'd like to talk about with sports. One of the first things that's always killed me in sports is records. Even in high school and college, records have never meant really a big deal to me, because there's so many things that goes into records. What league were you in? Were you Division 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in high school? Because in college there's only 3 divisions. You either go D1, D2, or D3, and then you got your subdivision schools or D1 AA schools. But with that being said, you know, what kind of league are you in? Are you a Division 5 high school player that set all these records? But you know, what would you have been like at a D1 school with the competition level? So there's so many things that goes into records. You know, like I said, the leagues, the conferences. Did you play 2 years or did you play 4 years? And so there's so many records that can be set. And nowadays there's about a record for anything. It's like a young kid now that gets a trophy for just participating in a sport. I mean, it's gotten ridiculous over the years. But like I said, I just think maybe track. I mean, other than like the 4x4 or whatever, where you're running with a couple other guys. But I mean, track's mostly individual and wrestling. But when it's a team sport and stuff, like, you know, say your coach set a record at a college, and he come back there and coach at his alma mater. Say he was a corner and he had, you know, set the record in 4 years. Say he started as a freshman to his senior year, played college ball for 4 years, and said, let's just say he had 10 interceptions in 4 years and set a record at that college for most interceptions in 4 years. Okay, well, say he's the coach there in his alma mater, and say there's another kid in there that say he's a junior and he's had 8 or 9 interceptions. All right, so by next year, you know, that coach could be like, well, you know, I'm going to set him or something, because even though he's a great player, I don't want him to beat my record. See, that's when the politics and things come in, and which, you know, that would be really dirty of that coach to do that, but that's just how life is. And in this world, how it's about greed. You know, look at the pandemic that's going on. You know, everybody's going in there and stocking up on groceries and toilet paper and hand sanitizer, and nobody cares about everybody else. You know, I miss the days that even when I was young, that people actually had respect. I mean, you could make a deal and shake somebody's hand, and, you know, you could trust that person. Nowadays, you can't trust anybody, and it's the sad world we come into, that we're living in. And, you know, and that's why it's just nobody cares about one another. It's like, well, as long as I got toilet paper and food, I don't care about the next person. You know, I don't care if the 80, 90-year-old people have toilet paper or anything. I mean, it's just like everybody for themselves, and people's afraid that people's been buying ammo and guns and stuff, you know, scared that this is going to go into a martial law, which it possibly could. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here with the sports. But, you know, like I said, I'm driving a semi, and I never thought in a million years I'd drive a semi, because, you know, my whole life was about sports. And, you know, I figured that, you know, not necessarily saying I went pro in football or baseball, but, you know, at least had a chance at going pro, or if not, you know, play in the minor league, or, you know, go overseas, become a personal trainer. Well, I was a personal trainer, I just never used my certificate, but something to do with sports, I always figured that's what I do, because, you know, I've been, playing since I was probably about 4 years old. So that's pretty much all I've known my whole life, you know, was working out in sports. So I figured I would do something like that in my life instead of driving a truck. But it's different nowadays than when I went to high school, you know. I didn't care about grades and keep my grades up. So, you know, I always knew I was going to go on to college and I was going to play sports, and, you know, I had my life planned out. But like they always say, life don't go as planned, and you can look back the rest of your life like I have. I graduated in 2003. It's 2020. It's coming up on 17 years ago. And, I still dwell on my past. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. And it really sucks knowing what you coulda did, but you're never going to get a chance to ever accomplish it. At my age now, it's not like I'm going to get recruited and go pro in anything. And that's just how it is, and that's something I got to live with. But nowadays, they make sure kids keep their grades up and they can get through through the NCAA clearinghouse. And I didn't really have that option. I mean, teachers didn't really care back then like they do now, and it really sucks. When that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to go to college, play sports, and get your degree. But like I said, I guess it just wasn't meant to happen, and that's how life goes. But talking about sports, though, I will say one thing sports has helped me with. All the leagues I played in was all competitive. I played about a year and a half of semi-pro football when I was 30, and just getting up there too old to be run after 18, 20-some-year-old guys when you're 30, which I'm not saying 30's old, but it's starting to get up there playing football especially. But one thing sports has taught me is discipline, and just learning at a young age how to win and lose, because nobody ever wants to lose in anything, whether in life, jobs, somebody makes more money, they got nicer cars, they got a nicer house, everybody wants to be somebody in life. But sports taught me at a young age that there's always a winner and a loser, and I lost a lot in sports, but it's like life. Anybody that never fails will never get ahead in life, because if you've never failed, you've never tried, because everybody in their life is gonna fail at some time. I mean, Trump went bankrupt several times, and look at him. And Dave Thomas, the owner of Wendy's, he was a high school dropout. And so it don't really matter if you got a college degree or you're a high school dropout or whatever the case may be. It's just some of my family members didn't graduate, which that's been many, many moons ago. But they went and worked on the farm. They had to do so many other things, and they're very intelligent people. And that's the way life was back then. Had to take care of their mom and dad, all that. But like I said, I lost a lot in my life. Jobs, sports. You win some, you lose some, and that's the way life is. But it's hard when like right now with the pandemic that's going on. All these seniors, March Madness, the Arnold Classic that got canceled. All these people, athletes that's trained for so long, to make it to their senior year, or a senior that's finally getting the chance to say start on the basketball team his senior year. And all that blood, sweat, and tears, and now, they don't get a shot. I know a guy on here, well, I don't know him personally, but he's a YouTuber, and it's one of the best years they've had in college basketball. I think it was their best year. And, they won their first two semifinal games, and they were going on to, I think, the Elite Eight, but, everything got canceled because of this. So he's going to probably live the rest of his life wondering, would we have won the championship for our college? Maybe we would have lost, maybe we would have won, but we're never going to know now. And that's the same way with me with sports. Would I have went pro? Probably not. Could I have? Who knows? I'm never going to get that chance ever to find out. And I've always been the kind of guy that would like to, play against Michael Jordan. Who cares if we play one-on-one to a game of 10 and he beats me 10-0? He's the best player in the world. I don't really care. See, I'll take that loss. I'd rather play against somebody that's the best than somebody that's not good at all and I beat them 10-0. So, I don't know. Like I said, sports has taught me a lot, looking back on it. Everybody just thinks, oh, sports is just, whatever. But it has taught me a lot. And one of my exes had a son, and it was just crazy because, I grew up with a coach that, he'd I can't talk right now. He would cuss at us, call us everything. And, this was back in, like I said, 2002. I graduated in 2003, but this was back in 2002. And he was a rough coach. He was in Vietnam, and he was rough. And nowadays, looking back, he wouldn't have been a coach 5 minutes the way the kids are nowadays if he'd started cussing at them and doing things like he did to us. So it's just amazing how the generations has changed. But so back to my story, I dated this one girl, and she had this son, and he was playing basketball, and him and his relation, they would go, and they were in this basketball league, but they would want to play, the two boys, her son and his cousin, would want to play against girls. Well, that's great when you're young and you're like, oh yeah, I'll show off and I'll beat these girls, and look at how good I am, but you're playing against girls. So, they, in this generation, nobody wants to lose. And I told my ex, I was like, your son's not learning anything. He's going to be in the 7th grade next year. He's going to try out for the basketball team, and he's been playing against girls. And I don't have nothing against girls at all. There are some girls that's great athletes. But when you're when you're a 7th grade boy and you're playing against girls that's in the 5th grade, I mean, I would be wanting to play against, kids that's in 8th grade, the kids that's freshmen, kids that's already been on the team. And I would rather lose and make myself a lot better than playing against girls and win. So they were in this basketball league together, and they were playing against this one team that's been in the league for, long time. And these kids were rough, and they were pushing her son and around and everything. And she got all mad, and then she talked to somebody, and long story short, they ended up kicking this team out. And I'm sitting here thinking, wow, when I played sports, my dad or mom would have never did that. If I was out there on the football field or baseball, diamond, and we were getting killed like we have before, we've beat teams bad, and we've been beat bad. But my parents would never, and nobody would ever did that back when I was growing up, saying, hey, this team's too good, they don't belong here, they're too rough. I mean, it's just amazing how soft the generation has got. Just since, like I said, since I was young and now, and I'm not old, I'm not young, but I'm not old, and it's just, I can't get over how it is nowadays. So, I mean, I don't even know what they're doing now, and I mean, like I said, that's been a long time ago, but I couldn't get over it. It's like, wow, you're getting this team kicked out because they're too rough and too good. How you think you get better? I mean, how you think Michael Jordan, LeBron James, how you think all these guys got good? They practice all the time. They played against older kids and better competition at their time. That's how they got good. They didn't get good playing against 3rd graders when they were in the 6th grade. They played hard, and they played against great competition. And so, yeah, it just, like I said, sports can teach you a lot. And the millennials nowadays in this group is just, I don't know. Like, I don't know why they feel like everything should be handed to them. They shouldn't have to work. Like I said, I'm in a semi right now. I don't enjoy getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day and going to work. But am I supposed to have stuff handed to me? I just don't understand how these kids are nowadays. But anyway, I'm starting to ramble, and this video's getting close to 15 minutes. So just like I said, had some things on my mind, and yeah, just kind of crazy the way the pandemic's going and how people's losing money in stock markets, and Yeah, just all that stuff. So anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I'll talk at you later.